Okay, Balls, what's on your mind?
All right, cats, and we're back this week on the Balls from Ellwood show. If you're wondering what the buzzing is behind us, I'm actually at 402 Tattoo Studio up in Bentleyville, and I'm going to be talking to Steve Witt, who is, if you're around these parts, the best tattooist in the area. So if you need a tattoo, stop on in and make sure you get a fucking tattoo at this joint, because this guy's art is amazing. So don't be stupid and go to like Butler Fair or some stupid shit like that. You want to come in, and if it's going to be on your body the rest of your life, come do it right. Come down and see this cat. So, but that being said, I've always been a fan of tattoos. Unfortunately, I can't get one because I have two kind of different skin diseases, which really sucks. But I've always been a fan of them. I think they're the artwork is gorgeous, and I wanted to come down and I wanted to talk to this cat and see what interesting stories he could tell us. So I'm sure he has some interesting stories. So I wanted to ask Steve, what actually is the most unusual person you've ever given a tattoo to?
I had a lady come in the one time. She works for the post office, and she looked like a blonde Peg Bundy. And her husband, he kind of reminded me of Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation. So these two, the husband came in and he had a rooster hanging from a noose below his knee tattooed on him, so he could tell the women that he had a cock that hung below his knee. So she wanted to get a matching tattoo, so what she wanted me to draw up was a dead cat that looked like it had been run over by a car with a tire track going over its stomach, eyes crossed out, hanging from a noose, and she wanted the cat colored pink. So I did a big pink dead pussy hanging below her knee with flies around it that looked like it had been used and abused and run over by a truck.
So how did she look? I'm almost imagining from the story alone, the real thing probably looked like that. You probably didn't even have to tattoo that.
Oh, I didn't want to. After I was done tattooing her, she got up and ran out of the shop and was yelling at people, "Look at my dead pussy hanging below." And I was just like, I was pretty stunned by that. But yeah, that was probably the most unusual customer I've ever tattooed.
Well, another interesting piece to this story, Kat, is that if you're wondering to where XTina is, she's actually the one in the chair this week getting a tattoo. Hey, that makes me wonder where is the most unusual place a customer has asked you to give a tattoo?
Well, I mean, I've had people ask me to tattoo them in places, and I've tattooed pretty much women all over their body, but when it comes to men, there's certain things that I don't want to see in life. And so I tell them no. I mean, I'm not comfortable touching another man's junk, and I don't think you could pay me enough money to even look at another man's junk, because it would give me an inferiority complex. I don't like comparing, so I try to stay away from tattoos like that.
Have you ever tattooed a woman's asshole?
Her asshole, no, but around the vagina, yeah. Didn't get too close to the taint, but I've tattooed vaginas. I tattooed nipples on people. I've tattooed around the nipples. So you know, pretty much all over their body except for the asshole. I've seen it done on videos where a girl got an octopus tattooed on her asshole, and it's an amazing tattoo. It's just I can't imagine why. You know.
Is there a certain protocol you have to follow to do parts like that?
Well, I mean, the sterilization, I mean, that's always something that we take very seriously, and, but, when it comes to that, I mean, I'd imagine you have to keep that area extremely clean, and we do that with our customers. We keep everything clean and sanitized and sterile. That way there's no chance for infection or anything like that, so.
Have you ever had a customer that's so smelly that you had to refuse them?
Yeah, I actually had a stripper that came in that worked at this local strip joint, and she wanted her foot tattooed, and she took her shoe off, and it literally smelled like she ran through dog shit and cow shit. I tried cleaning her foot off with alcohol, with soap. Nothing was helping. She stunk up my whole shop pretty bad.
Ugh. Well, actually, that's pretty fascinating. But what is it that makes you want to do this every day? Like, when did you know when you wanted this to be a career and it was like way beyond a hobby? What made you want to pursue this as a professional way of make a living?
Well, when I got out of boot camp in San Diego in the Navy, and we went on our liberty, we went to a tattoo shop that was right across the street called Tiger Jimmy's, right across the street from the base. And I walked in with all my friends, and as soon as I walked into the place and saw all the designs, and there was the smell of incense burning in the air, I just automatically knew the place felt mystical to me and magical, if that makes any sense. And I just felt like I belonged. And I knew at that moment what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I didn't want to leave the shop. I knew that I wanted to spend my time in tattoo studios. So when I was in the Navy, I went from tattoo shop to tattoo shop, getting tattooed, watching how these guys did it. And I knew when I got out of the Navy that I was going to do anything in my power to learn from whoever would take me under their wing and teach me. So,
have you ever had a customer that was unsatisfied, and how did you deal with that?
Yeah. I mean, I think every tattoo artist has a customer unsatisfied. And for us tattoo artists, that's a really hard thing to cope with, because we're putting our art on other people's body, and we take a lot of pride in what we do, and we always want to give our customers 120%. So when you get a customer that's unsatisfied, it really takes a bite out of your pride. And so what we do is we do everything we can to make the customer happy, to rectify the situation, to fix any mistakes. We are human. We do make mistakes, but the longer we've been tattooing, the more minimal the mistakes are. But we do everything. Me especially, I go out of my way to keep my customers happy and keep them coming back. So whether it's fixing the tattoo or offering them a cover up or whatever we can do to make them happy, that's what we do. So
that's awesome, man. I mean, I would. What is it like to wake up every day and just go and do something you love? Like, does that make all the difference in the world? Does it seem like a job sometimes? Like,
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I love being a tattoo artist. I love doing what I do. And the tattoo artists that work for me, they love their job too. But yeah, it does seem like a job at times, especially when you get customers that come in that want the same designs that they find on Pinterest over and over again. You can only do the infinity sign in so many different ways with the word in it and the feather that turns into bird so many times. But I mean, we do try to offer original artwork to our customers, and always try to get our customers to be a little bit more creative when picking their designs. But I mean, for me, waking up every day, coming here, it's awesome. I mean, I was in the military, always had somebody yelling at me, breathing down my neck. I worked the office circuit where I had to wear a suit and tie. Always had somebody yelling at me, breathing down my neck. I like being my own boss. And with my employees, I try to make them feel like they're equal with me. Like I'm not their boss, I'm their friend, I'm their coworker. So I mean, I want everybody that comes in here to have a great experience. I have a great experience coming here. I want my artists to feel like they have a great experience, and so everybody at the end of the night goes home happy.
What is the most detailed tattoo you've ever done? What was it, and how long did it take to complete?
The most detailed, oh boy, let me think about that. That was, I mean, I've done a back piece. I had a guy from the Army who came in, and he wanted a huge Grim Reaper sitting on a throne around, and just skulls everywhere, smoke, and then he wanted the lost souls of all these dead people, like their faces screaming in agony and torment. And I did the back piece on him. He was home from leave from the Army. He was stationed in Alaska. He was only home for 2 weeks, so I had to do this tattoo in 2 weeks. And I did an entire back piece on him. We did the outline and some of the shading in 13 hours in one session. And then he came back the day before he left, and we sat for 16 hours and finished it. So, we ended up doing a whole 2 sessions on him that should have taken, it should have taken a lot longer, but we barreled through. He barreled through the pain. He was so strong and so tough to sit through that. And kudos to him, because that was a lot of work, and it turned out awesome. He was extremely happy with it. So.
Now, that being said, what is the most, in your opinion, ridiculous thing you've ever had to tattoo on somebody?
Oh, well, I mean, there's that cat, but the dead pussy tattoo. I mean,
is there anything worse than the dead pussy?
I I'm not a fan of doing tribal work. I think it's played out. I'm also not a fan of doing the Pinterest style tattoos that everybody seems to gravitate towards. You know, the cute little sayings. I mean, we'll do our best to make them look great and make our customers happy, but I mean, some stuff just gets played out. You know, the infinity symbols, the little anchors, the feather that turns into birds, stuff like that. It gets a little old after a while. So,
have you ever had a customer just completely flake out and completely panic and then had to bitch out in the middle of one?
Yes, and this is a great story. So I had this 18-year-old kid come in, and he wanted a sun tattooed on his chest, and it was just a small little tattoo on his chest. I charged him like $80 for it. He comes in, I start tattooing him. I hit him with the needle on his chest, and he starts kicking and screaming and just making a big scene. I stopped tattooing him. I checked the needle to make sure the needle wasn't damaged in any way. The needle was fine. Started tattooing him again. He started kicking and screaming, started making this big deal out of it. And I finally, it should have taken me a minute to do like 5 minutes to do the outline. It ended up taking me 45 minutes just to tattoo this basic sun outline on his chest. I finally get done with the outline. He's sweating, he's crying, he's freaking out. And I said, look, kid, just come back. We're going to let this tattoo heal up for 2 weeks. You can come back. I won't charge you to finish it. You already paid me. Just come back. I'll schedule you an appointment. Come on in 2 weeks when you're in a little bit better frame of mind, and we'll finish the tattoo on you. And he said, yeah, man, no problem. 2 weeks come and go. He blows me off. He doesn't call. He doesn't show up. A couple of months go by. He calls me, and he goes, you didn't finish my tattoo. And I'm like, I'm sorry? And he's like, well, I had an appointment with you to get my tattoo finished, and I'd like to get it finished. I'm like, okay.
Was you like, hey, are you the pussy with the sun?
Well, I figured out who it was. He was like, yeah, I got a sun tattooed on my chest that you need to finish. I'm like, oh, okay. So I set him up another appointment. I was very polite with him, very professional. And I set him up another appointment. He blows me off again. Now I'm pissed. So a couple months go by, and he comes in, and he says to me, you didn't finish my tattoo. Like, he has an attitude with me. And I'm like, excuse me? And he's like, well, I got this sun on my chest. He's like, I want to set up an appointment. I was like, you know what, kid? If you want the tattoo finished, I will finish it right now. I'm like, but you've blown me off twice. You're not going to do this to me again. If you want to get this tattoo finished, you're going to finish it right now, because if you blow me off again, I'm going to recharge you for the tattoo, because you've cost me time and money. You know, I'm like, so let's get you in the chair. Let's get this tattoo finished. So the kid starts shaking. Like, he gets really freaked out. He starts shaking. He looked like Anthony Michael Hall on crack. Like, this kid was fucking bizarre. And so he starts shaking, and I'm like, come on, kid, let's get this tattoo finished. It shouldn't take long. You know, I'll get you through it. And he's like, no, I can't do this. I'm like, look, kid, if you don't do it now, I'm not finishing this tattoo on you. That's all there is to it. He looks at me. His eyes start bugging out of his head. He gives me the finger, and he turns around, and he runs out the door. So I run out after him. I'm like, fuck you, kid. I'll kick your little fucking skinny ass. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, he says, I'm getting my dad. So later on that day, I'm tattooing this big biker, and this guy pulls up on his little Honda with a mullet and a fringed pleather jacket. This guy's about 5'4". He comes storming into my shop, and he says, who the fuck is Steve? And I stand up. I walk up to him. I was like, yeah, I'm him. And I'm like, you got a problem? And he's like, yeah, I got a problem. I'm like, let's take it outside. We go outside, and I was like, listen, before you say anything, I know who you are. If you want your son to get tattooed, you better come down here and hold his little pussy hand, because he's a cunt. I'm like, he's an absolute cunt. I'm not going to tattoo him unless you're holding his hand and drying his tears. Now get the fuck out of here. And the guy was just like, he just totally backed down, and he got on his bike and he left. He's lucky I didn't break his jaw. I was so mad. But
no, those are the stories I was looking for. That's awesome, man. I got a question. I'm gonna got a couple more questions for you, and we'll wrap it up here, man. But whenever you're working with, like, say, you're gonna tattoo like a hot chick, have you ever gotten a boner?
No, I've always kept it professional. I mean, the thing is like, you know, I mean, you have the thoughts, of course, you know. I mean, but.
Have you ever went home and thought of somebody and jerked off?
No, honestly, no. My customers are the most important thing to me. And like, I've always like when I was taught, you know, I love my wife, and she's the most important woman in my life right now, and I mean, I've tattooed a lot of attractive customers. I've had customers hit on me, but I've always maintained a professional professional customer relationship with them. I look at it as they're not to be viewed like that. They're my customers. He's saying that I'm turning into Pinocchio here. I have found some customers extremely attractive, and yeah, I've thought about them at times, but like, no, I would never hit on them. I've never, gotten sexually aroused by them. But to me, I'm always so focused when I'm tattooing. I just gotta concentrate on making that. It's hard enough trying to perfect a design on somebody without being distracted by things like that. So, when I'm tattooing, it's my head's 100% in the game.
Well, that's awesome, man. And I'm going to close this up with the most important question of my whole interview here. What happens when you're in mid-tattoo and you have to take a shit?
I go take a shit. Honestly, I'm like, excuse me, I'm not going to, I'll go take a shit. I'll wash my hands, make sure I clean myself real good, wash my hands, and get back to it. I mean, I've had that, normally I take my shits, though. I drink my coffee in the morning, and that usually, I get my nicotine in me, get my coffee in me, and that normally cleans me out before I have to worry about the customer.
So your asshole's like on a timer.
It is. I have it trained. I have it very well trained. In fact, when I'm at the shop, we have incense here, and my partner Clarence knows that when it's time for me to take a shit, he'll see me go grab the incense. I'll go burn it in the bathroom so I'm not stinking the place up. I'll go take my shit, and then I'm good to go.
Awesome. Does Clarence have stories?
No, he doesn't.
No? He's bowing out, man.
He does.
All right, maybe we'll do this again sometime. This is Balls from Ellwood. Wrapping it up, I'm going to thank Steve Witt for letting us talk to him today. Like I said, if you guys need to come down and get an awesome tattoo, you know where to come now. Thanks a lot. And look, I'm looking at XTinas Tattoo here, man, and it's looking great. I'm going to actually put a video up on Periscope so you guys can see what this looks like when it's done. And we'll do a little commercial for this Sunday, so be sure to tune in. Peace and love.
Thanks, Balls.
Hey, we're back, cats. I hope you enjoyed that interview as much as I did. I always thought he would be an interesting character to interview because, anybody that's doing like any sort of tattooing for a living, I think, definitely runs into some nefarious characters, and that's always good for some interesting stories. I mean, not only that, he used to set up for many different bands, and I'm sure we're going to be going back and hearing a lot of those good stories. He told me one, and I almost contemplated telling you cats because I think it's hysterical and I can't stop laughing about it, but I don't think I'm going to do it justice, so I think we're going to pay another trip out there sometime soon in the future, and I'm going to let you tell him himself. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Like I said, man, you need a tattoo. Well, that's the man to go to. His name is Steve Witt. 422 Studios in Bentleyville. So look him up. He's the man to go to. But also in the process, I found out, he's did tattoos for a lot of different people, and he's met a lot of different people over the years. I was surprised to hear he did. He was actually good friends with the Dropkick Murphys. He met them, setting up for them over the years. He's kind of became just an interesting dude all around. He actually turned me on to a band when I was there. And I think they're really fucking cool, man. They're called Scattered Hamlet. I'm actually working on getting the lead singer to interview here on my show here. And I'm thinking that's probably going to be coming within the next 2-3 weeks, Kat, so look out for that. He's told me he's tattooed so many different people. He actually tattoos this guy from Nashville. He's a country singer. His name's Daryl Wayne Dasher. Really nice dude. You might want to check him out if you're into that kind of music. He does tats for him. And the band I mentioned before, they're called Scattered Hamlet. They come down for him to get tats all the time. I think he did really cool Misfits tattoos for them guys. And they're really cool, man. One thing I love about this show is my ability to, to focus attention on, as I did in the past, bands that are kind of indie and not even indie or up and coming, or bands that people just might not, have heard of. So when I was there hanging out, he actually turned me on to some friends of his, and their name is Scattered Hamlet, and they're kind of like the best way I can describe it is like it's like one part country, one part heavy metal, one part honky tonk. It's just a really cool mix, man. And I actually got permission, copyright permission to play a couple tracks of theirs, right from the lead singer, Adam Judd. So I want to actually play you cats. I'm going to play a song now that I think is really, really cool off of their debut album called Skeleton Dixie, and the track is called Shelter. And I'm going to actually play you another one of their songs when I close the show. So if you can, seek them out, man. Check these cats out. Scattered Hamlet is the name, and the song is Shelter. Check them out, and let me know what you think. Peace and love. And we're back. I hope you guys liked that as much as I did, man. I was throwing up the horns. I think those guys fucking shred. So, yeah, check them out, man. Scattered Hamlet. I'll be playing you another song here later in the show. Did you know we live in a era of exploding ants now, kids? I was reading. It's crazy, man. I wake up and like nothing ceases to amaze me in this fucked up, twisted world anymore. But I wake up one day, I'm looking in fucking the news, and now we have exploding ants. Like as crazy as our fucking world is now, all the crazy shit that goes on. Now there's exploding ants. So I mean, you're probably thinking, balls, what the fuck are you talking about? But I'm totally serious. If you go on Google, put in exploding ants, and yeah, man, it's pretty fascinating. I was reading about it. It's like a type of ant they found in Borneo, and its defense mechanism, like to protect the colonies, like if they're threatened by anything. They make themselves fucking explode, and it not only kills the ant, but it kills whoever's threatening the colonies. So, and yeah, like I was watching videos of it. It looks like a fucking horror movie, man. It's disgusting. It's like all gory and shit, and they like implode, and it's fucking crazy. But yeah, it's not every day. You get a new species of ant. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, a good thing it's only in Borneo. Like you could be fucking sitting there having a picnic, and you're sitting in the grass, and an ant blows your fucking dick off. So I mean, if there's enough of them, it could happen. You don't know. But yeah, I just thought that was a very weird story that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm fascinated by weird and crazy shit. So that was definitely the the ticket winner this week. So, but if you guys have anything to share, feel free to email me at windychops1976 at gmail.com. If you think you could top my exploding ant story, I would love to hear it. And while you're at it, have you ever had those funny feelings downstairs, cats? Well, if you like to masturbate, and you like to jerk your dick off, I suggest you go visit our sponsor, freeclips.com. Why, you may ask? Well, there's tons of porn accessible on the internet. But the great thing about Free Clips is all the things are broken down into category and subgenre, and they're high quality clips. They don't do that bullshit like where you're jerking your dick off and you're right about to come, and then they cut it off, and then that fucks you up, and you're like, oh man, then you gotta hurry up and try to fucking find something else, and before you know it, it becomes a thing, man. Like I got shit to do. I don't know about you guys. I don't want to be wasting a lot of time fucking shooting some ropes, so I want to get it done. I want to, get cleaned up and, get back to feeling horrible about myself, so, and we go back to my everyday life, so. But yeah, feel free to visit our sponsor, freeclips.com, and you won't be sorry, cats. I've perused their inventory. There's all kinds of great shit. There's, Asian, whatever your sick twist is into, they definitely got you covered, so. And speaking of plugs, if you like what you hear, and you like my show, or any of the other plethora of amazing shows we hear with the Gonzo Podcast Network, feel free to go and, donate at www.gonzopodcast.com. And, we've been doing so good here. We've come such a long way in these past few months. Starting to build up some speed here. We've been adding all kinds of great shows. Feel free to check out all our other shows. But most importantly, check mine out, of course. But no, we have so many good shows to choose from. There's such a good variety. So please, go and throw a few bucks at us. Or, other than that, you could become a patron if you go on our main website. And they offer all kinds of different, unique perks you could get if you, donate a couple bucks a month. Go and check that out. There's all kinds of cool shit. But other than that, coming up, I think we're going to be going into XTinas Depravity Corner here. So I'm going to go get her, bring her in. It's time for that thing we all know and love. Let's give it up for XTina in her Depravity Corner. Let's bring her in now. XTina, what you got for us?
Hey there. So, what we've got today in Depravity Land, there's always lots of depravity to be had here. And so from what I'm hearing, last night there was some crazy naked guy who ran into a Waffle House and started shooting it up. Because, I have nothing better to do at 3 in the morning. Let me run around naked and shoot some people in a Waffle House. This sounds like a great idea. But here's the weird thing I just read about. Dude is from Illinois, And this happened in Nashville, Tennessee. It's not like that's a hop, skip, and a jump away from each other. What is going on? Why is this guy from Illinois in Tennessee naked and shooting people? Weren't there people that he could shoot in Illinois? I mean, just saying. But it's very bizarre. There's clearly something very wrong with the guy. The good news, I guess if there's got to be good news, is one of the, I believe it was an employee or a patron, I'm not quite sure, but a young guy, from what I understand, managed to hide behind a wall and watch the gunman look down at his gun for a second. I don't know if he was reloading or what, but he managed to jump up on him and attack him and grab the gun out of his hands and throw it behind the Waffle House counter, so he didn't have access to it any longer. And the guy ran away on foot. Unfortunately, he got away, and he's still in the loose, from what I understand. Now, we're recording here this Sunday afternoon, so hopefully by the time this show airs, the guy is either dead or found and, thrown in jail where he belongs. But I just don't understand. I don't understand the rationale of people. And I also just read this. I think this might even be worse. For those of you, if we want to get into the great gun debate of the land, here's one for you that does not involve a gun. There was a man in L.A., Ventura, California, which is basically L.A. He was out at a nice steakhouse having a dinner with his family. I guess his 5-year-old daughter was sitting on his lap, and a homeless man who the cops had just been called about this guy who was harassing people on a beach nearby. And I guess they, scoped out the situation and deemed him not a threat. About an hour later, runs up to this steakhouse and stabs this man who is enjoying his steak dinner with his daughter sitting on his lap, 5 years old, mind you. He didn't make it. They took him to the hospital, and he had, I guess, some surgeries and did not make it. So, watch out when you're eating a steak dinner. Watch out when you're eating waffles. This is all very dangerous. It's I'm trying to keep it lighthearted here, but I mean, Jesus Christ, can we do anything? Can we seriously do anything? I seriously hate to walk around and just constantly be looking over my shoulder, but you almost have to nowadays, and it's like we were at a rest stop the other day, and Balls was a gentleman enough to hold the door open for people. He has this theory we debate all the time. I'm for people who are generally good people, and he's like, yeah. And as you hear the laughter in the background, he is the opposite of that thought, and people are generally assholes and always, either wanting bad for you or wanting to do something to harm you, or self-serving, of course. Yes, I mean, to an extent, I agree. But I'm always on the, be nice to people, they'll be nice to you bullshit train. And so Balls was nice enough to hold the door for this gentleman. And the guy I hear him blah, 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 talking. I'm like, is he seriously talking to us? What is he saying? And then he's like, I don't even know what he said. And we're trying to just walk back to our car and get on the road again. And he's talking, and then he's like, and where are you guys headed? Or no, he made a comment about us being from Pennsylvania. And we were in Ohio at the time, and he was nowhere near our car to even see our license plate. So he's like, oh, you're heading back to Pennsylvania? I'm like, what did he just say? And then he's like, where y'all headed? You heading back to Akron? I'm like, no, we're going to Cleveland. And then I'm like, oh, why did I just do that? Because I'm an idiot and I'm very honest and I don't think before I speak. And then of course I got yelled at when we got in the car, like, what were you thinking? Don't tell him where you're going. Like, yeah, I already had that conversation in my head, thanks. But yeah, so I'm not the brightest bean in the bunch when it comes to being nice to people, and it's amazing I haven't gotten kidnapped myself. That doesn't mean come out and kidnap me, please don't. I'd prefer you didn't. Balls will kill you. He'll smack you with his balls. Here you go, honey. What do you have to say about that stuff?
I totally forgot about that story, man. That guy was crazed too. Like, it's funny. Like, this guy's a total lunatic, and he's just like, all it takes is just doing one kind act for somebody, and then the crazy comes out. Like, I normally will do that because I was raised that way to be polite. But that doesn't mean I want to fucking talk to you for fucking 20 minutes afterwards. I just want to open the door, and that's where it ends. And this guy is all like, where you going? Trying to figure out where it was very creepy. Like, and then, and then she was like, oh, yes, Mr. Psycho, we're going here. Come and meet us there and fucking slit our throats and throw us in the river. I'll help you out there. So...
Meanwhile, this stuff happens. This is what happens to balls. But when I hold doors for people, I'm lucky if I get a grunt. You know, I'm like, can people not say thank you anymore? Like, I don't know. Yeah, but he'd prefer the grunt. I get pissed off when people don't do that.
I'd prefer that over, did you ever see, what the hell was that movie called with fucking Rusty Nail? Joyride. They could have turned into a fucking Joyride scenario where he's fucking Rusty Nail chasing us all over Cleveland. So, and I can't remember what we was at. We was at a concert the other night, too, and you took a fucking... You don't even know these people. Like, you're taking breath mints off them and shit, and like you're eating things off them like they just openly offer you. I would never do that. I've worked at a furniture place for 16 years. I have yet to take a fucking drink off of anybody. And then there was one opportunity, and this is why I don't do it. I for 16 years, like, if I'm delivering furniture to somebody, I'm so paranoid about people being fucking naturally evil and fucking with shit that I won't. It could be 105 degrees and I'm sweating like a fucking whore in church, and I won't fucking take a fucking drink of water off of somebody if they offer it. So the one day it fucking happens, or I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm so thirsty I have to have a drink of water. Here's what happens. Here's why. This is why I'm so distrusting of these public, and they're all fucking evil fucks. I actually take a drink of water from this lady. I go to take a drink of it, and the bottom of the fucking cup falls out. Like I'm thinking, what the fuck was she planning? And like, she looked all nervous afterwards, and my buddy stopped drinking. He put his down and didn't drink his, and I'm thinking, what the hell was this bitch plotting? So like, this is why I'm naturally just. I'm sure there's 100,000 reasons other on top of that, but this is why I'm so naturally. I'm 2 steps ahead of thinking about these evil motherfuckers out there. When I go out in the world, I don't look at it as like, oh, there's so many happy people full of potential. I look out there and I'm like, how am I gonna wade and sift through all these evil fucking cocksuckers every day just to get back and forth to where I need to go? That's how I look at things. But back to your story, Waffle House. This dude, I seen the picture of him. He looks like a fucking weirdo. He was in a trench coat nude. Like, I get shit if I ask for a fucking refill of my fucking Pepsi at Waffle House. And you mean to tell me nobody fucking says a word to this naked dude in a fucking trench coat sitting there at Waffle House ordering something?
He wasn't sitting there, from what I understand. My understanding is he pulled up in a truck with an AR-15 and just started, got out of the truck and started shooting people. He was not a customer, just to clarify. So I don't even think they had time to question what he was doing and why he was there. There was no time for that. But anyway, yeah, what a wacko.
Oh, I thought he actually went in and was like, or I'm like, wow, I can't even fucking, they get pissed at me if I even want service. So, I mean, but I have to say their fucking hash browns are in fact the best. But anyway, I'm a fat guy. I notice that kind of shit. So, and then what was your other story?
In addition to that one, the guy getting stabbed in California. Yeah, he got sitting at a restaurant. I think it was like one of these deals where it was near the beach, and he, it's like an outdoor sort of environment. And a homeless man was out harassing people on the beach. They called the cops on him. The cops supposedly checked him out. This is where I get, I take issue with the police. Like, are they really checking him out, or are they just driving by and going, meh, seems all right, let's go, And I feel like they just disregard so many things, because literally like an hour later, this guy killed someone, so he walked up to a man eating a steak on a lap. Like, wouldn't you at least think some killers have some sort of moral compass? I mean, I need to kill somebody today, but Michael Myers won't kill a kid. Yeah, even Michael Myers won't kill a kid. No, he didn't kill the kid. He just killed the dad in front of the kid, which. Kill a fucking person in front of a kid. Right. So I mean, even Michael Myers has somewhat of a moral compass here. That's our story here, folks. But can't you? I mean, what the heck is wrong with people? Like, I don't get it. So. I don't know, man. Everybody's an asshole. Why? Please tell me why. If you have the answers, I'd love to know what makes people want to kill people. Like, granted, now, I've been very, angry and very irritated, especially in traffic. We all have a bit of road rage in our bodies and stuff, but at no point have I ever been like, I'm gonna shoot that person. Like, have I wanted to probably punch them in the face? Sure, but, there's a big difference between, wanting to completely commit murder Balls is giving me some funny eyes here, so we're not going to, maybe we shouldn't talk to him again about this subject.
Well, no, I mean, that's, I'm not giving you funny eyes. I'm just thinking to myself, has there ever been an opportunity where I really think I was so pissed off in a road rage scenario that I really honestly could have killed somebody and been okay with it? And, yeah, the answer is sure. Yeah, I mean, I was just contemplating, and yeah, I mean, if there was no repercussions from it, like if I wasn't going to get in trouble or I'm not going to go to jail, yeah, I would shoot a fucking person in a second and not even feel the slightest bit bad about it. So yeah, there's been plenty of times where I almost got. I'll give you this story because you're looking at me like I'm a psycho, like you 40% of the time do already.
Yeah, I'm ready to take that ring off. Should I run, people? Should I run? Tell me, honey. Please explain.
So, here's a story in particular. It's Christmas Eve. I had just lost my job at American Eagle of 10 years. I'm driving home. They actually called me into work. Oh, I guess I probably shouldn't use their name. It was American Sneagle. It wasn't definitely that yuppie fucking cocksucking place that sells all the shitty clothing. It was definitely not that place. It was a place much like that. But anyway, for legal purposes. So anyway, at American Sneagle, they made me come in so they could fire me. They made me drive all the way to fuck in so they could fire me and I could drive home. So it's Christmas Eve. They fired me on fucking Christmas Eve. That alone says you're a fucking asshole. So I'm driving home. It's horrible out. It's fucking snowing like a motherfucker. I'm in my, the only car I have. So I see these fucking dudes in a truck, and they have a trailer, and they're hauling like fucking ATVs on it or something. So so for some reason they get behind me. So apparently they were going like way too fast for the conditions, and they end up rear-ending me. So then they whip out in front of me. They're going like 100 miles an hour, like in this awful snow, and like I almost fucking ran off the road and like hit a pole. So and then they're trying to hit me and take off, and so I can't catch them. So we end up going down 19. Which, as a listening audience, you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But this is more or less like, it's not like the turnpike. It's, you're going about 45 through here. It's kind of a slower place. They're going like 40, 50, 60 miles an hour to try to fucking lose me because they know they fucked up. So I turn into complete psycho mode. So I'm going 40, 50, 60 to fucking catch up to them, because I'm like, there's no way I'm letting these fuckers like hit me and take off. So we're going 60, 70, 80. We're blowing red lights. We're going through, and like they're up to like 80, 90 miles an hour. So finally they figured this guy's a fucking loon, and I think he's not gonna like leave us alone. So like we should maybe pull in. So they get the idea to pull in, and I'm so fucking angry now that I get out and I just go, give me your fucking license. I mean, I wasn't even thinking. I mean, I guess I probably would have needed registration and all that other shit. And these two fucking assholes, they were like fucking like 16-year-old kids. Like they didn't know whether they're gonna shit or whine or watch. So they give me their fucking license, registration. I call the cops and all that shit. They're like no help whatsoever, as cops usually aren't. So the long story short, it turns into a fucking like a 4 or 5 month long fucking battle, because I'm telling them, I call them, and like then their daddy got involved. They're these two little yuppie fuck faces, and of course daddy gets involved, and he calls me, and I'm like, listen man, like I just want my car fixed. Like I'm not looking to fucking take you for a ride. Obviously your two little assholes fucking fucked up, and they did wrong, which he clearly admitted. So then he's trying to barter with me. And I'm like, fuckhead. Like, he's like, don't turn it into the insurance. I'll pay you. And I'm like, I need my fucking car fixed. And I don't know you from Adam. And, like, I don't trust you. I'm not doing that. So then he's fucking arguing back. This went on for 4 or 5 months. So then he's telling me he's sending me checks. And he's never sending me checks. And then finally I called him and I go, listen, dude. This has went on long enough. I'm inconvenienced to the point I don't have a fucking car. I go, if you don't, like, come up with your word, I'm going to sue you. And he's like, oh, so you're threatening me now? And I go, no, motherfucker, I'm just telling you what's going to happen if you don't fucking do what you said you're going to do. That's not threatening at all. I'm just telling you this is what in fact will happen. So then finally, after all that time, I fucking, I quote unquote threat him. Then he starts sending the fucking checks to get my car fixed. So I would have shot him. I would have shot him and his 2 fucking asshole kids right in the fucking face, right on Christmas Eve. Wouldn't have thought I would have pissed in the bullet holes afterwards, right in their forehead. Like, and I wouldn't have thought a fucking second about it. So yes, that's one of many stories that I could tell you when I could fucking shoot somebody and I'd be like, fucking hey, that'd be great. I'd go to bed at night feeling fucking awesome about myself. So that's one of a million. So if you want to take that ring off, that would be the time I'd run for Z Hills.
Calling the what's that called? 311 or 3? What am I doing? 302. Time to 302 you. Time to 302 you. Let's call the white coats. Oh lordy, folks, help me. All right, if anybody feels that Balls needs to be institutionalized, please send us an email at what is it? Wendy or Wendy?
Wendy Chops.
Wendy
76 at gmail.com.
Thank you. And I believe this concludes my Depravity Corner. I don't have much else to discuss here today. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go hide under a rock here. So thank you, Balls. I'll talk to you soon.
What do you mean, maybe? Well, all right, cats. Now that I've scared the crap out of my fiance, hey, this is a good. If you're in a relationship, these are probably as long as you do the opposite of what you hear on my show here, you'll be fine. So, this is like a relationship show too. So, like for all you guys out there, and you want to actually, impress your women and not scare the shit out of them, like just do the exact opposite of what I do, and you'll be fine. See, that was a test. Like, I was testing you there. So, yeah, I'm trying to help the audience out with my relationship fucking bullshit or something. So, I mean, yeah, that's what that was. Well, anyway, cats. We got a lot more coming up here. I'm going to be closing the show. I got about 10 more minutes, but there's still quite a bit to talk about. I would actually like to take the time to have a couple little gripes here before I close the show. I just found out that the channel Stars is canceling one of my favorite shows. Ash vs. Evil Dead is coming to a close, and I would just like to gripe about that a little bit. I just found out about that. Stars, the only channel with not one fucking show on it that's even worth my asshole, is actually going to get rid of the only fucking show that anybody even watches on their channel. So explain that one, Stars. I'd like to know why. I mean, surely the budget's probably a little higher because, it's a decent show. But I don't understand. So, I mean, what are you going to replace it with? What else is on Stars? Like, has there ever been a good show from Stars? I mean, but yeah, that's got me fucking riled up, kids. Yeah, other than that, oh shit, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, I got one more thing to say before we close the show here. I had earlier this week used to be a fan of somebody that just started on this network. I had always admired them, and I thought they were cool, and I was always a fan of theirs, even though they are a train wreck, fucking horrible pile-up of a fuck-up of a person. I mean, I've always followed their career and thought they were great, and so I just want to take this time I actually called into the show Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday night, this past Wednesday night, and I didn't think I asked anything all that out of the ordinary, and yeah, I get a nice fucking attitude problem from Andy Dick, and then I hear afterwards he's drunk or this shit and that shit. So I mean, I don't know. I would just like to send the message out there. If you're going to shit on your fans, asshole, maybe maybe you should think about it, because, I mean, you're pretty much doing a podcast like me at this point, motherfucker, and you've been in the movies, and you've pretty much burnt every fucking bridge you fucking have, and you've fucking lost and fucking ruined every fucking opportunity you had, dickhead. So, I mean, maybe you should think about the fucking shit you say and the actions you do, because, when it comes down to it, the more people like me that disappear and there's nobody left, nobody's going to give a fuck about your show. Nobody's going to give a fuck about your movies or the shit that you do. So, I just thought you might need a little wake-up call, dick. So, I used to be a fan of yours. Now I think you could fucking suck my dick, motherfucker. I think you're an asshole. So, I'm glad you lost another fan. I think you probably got another 3,000 left. So once you piss them off, you're going to be, sucking dick in the gutter. So just thought you might need a little reality check, fuckface. So, oh yeah, and if you'd ever like to fucking respond or, work this out or talk to me, I don't think you'll have the balls to do so, but my line's always open. Give me a call. Or if you'd like to be the title card fight before speech and, high pitch, I'll knock you the fuck out, motherfucker. So, take your pick. Just thought you need a little wake-up call, fucker. So, X-fan balls. Fuck you, Andy Dick. You're a piece of shit. So anyway, on to before I close the show here. Earlier in the show, I was playing you a band that our buddy turned us on to. I'm going to play you one more track here before I close the show, cats. I think I'll play you a little song by them called Outlaw Anthem. Enjoy, cats. I'll see you afterwards.
Yeah, some of that outlaw music. 1, 2, 3, yeah! Sit baby, rolling this machine. It's been a couple of years now, baby, since a long purpose on me. I'm down whiskey, yeah, living the honky-tonk dream. I'm down whiskey, baby, y'all know what I mean. Mama.
back, cats. And I actually, I don't want to end the show on such a dour note, so I hope you like that song. I think that's a band you should definitely give attention to, and I'd like to end on a positive note rather than people think I'm a raving psychopath and, A, call the Whitecoats on me, or B, send the popo to my house thinking that anybody's in danger. That's not the case. I actually pride myself on honesty, and, I actually have no filter, as you probably have noticed. I am the kind of dude that I like to say what everybody's kind of thinking. It doesn't make you very popular. Doesn't get you a lot of friends, but, if honesty is, the problem, then I guess I'm going to have a problem the rest of my life. That's just the kind of dude I am. I say what's on my mind, and, sometimes it pisses people off, and sometimes it endears me to people. So, it's a blessing and a curse, cat. So, don't think I'm a nut. XTinas in total safe. She has nothing to worry about. So, I'm not a nut, mostly. But yeah, I just like to vent, like to, say what's on my mind and how I'm feeling. And so I figured I'd end the show on a positive note. I'm going to tell you about some stuff I'm looking forward to, stuff you could look forward to on the Balls from Ellwood show coming up in the next 3 weeks. I have a pretty jam-packed schedule. I'm supposed to, hopefully next week, interview the great Reverend Bob Levy for my show next time. So sometime this week I'm supposed to get that going. The week after that, I'm really hoping to interview one of my musical heroes, Vic Ruggiero from the Slackers. I'm going to hopefully lock that in here pretty soon, so that's coming up. And after that, I'm going to be interviewing the lead singer of that band I was playing here at Scattered Hamlet. So I got that coming up. I'm excited about that. I know my buddies Rebel Flesh have a new album coming out soon. They're going to be coming in, and we're going to, talk about that and have another interview with them. They're always good guys to talk to, and I've always been a fan of their music. And other than that, cats, that's really about it for this week. Until next week, this is Balls from Ellwood signing off. And like I said, peace and love. I hope you guys have a nice week. And if you would like to, like I said before, have any feedback, email me at windychops1976@gmail.com, or feel free to, like I said, go and visit freeclips.com and, find some, some Asian porn, some whatever you're into. So other than that, feel free to visit gonzopodcastnetwork.com and make a donation, or, just visit and listen to one of our many great shows we have. So check the schedule, see what's coming up. We got a lot of cool shows coming up, some new stuff. My buddy, I'd like to give a very special shout out to one of my best friends, Mr. Jeffrey Pines. You'll know him as Speech Impediment Man. I am very, very, very looking forward to his show this Friday, House of Speech. You're going to want to make sure you check that out. Hopefully you'll be hearing me calling. I want to call in and say hello and wish him luck on his very first show. I've been friends with him forever, and he's full of awesome stories. He's a very interesting dude, so I highly recommend checking him out, guys. You know him, you love him, he's on the network, but go and support his show, because he's just a great dude, and he deserves it. So love you, cats. Tune in next week, and I promise to be talking about more crazy shit. Love you guys. Peace and love. Peace and love.
I consider high-pitch Eric to be incredibly successful for his IQ.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not a team player, Jim. Jim, you're right.